home class in creative writing. We are in the first quarter of our set of lessons, and I hope everybody will delight to learn today with Lesson 6. Elements of genre, tone, and theme. At the end of the learning episode, you are expected to Number 1. Define what genre is. Number 2. Determine the elements of genre. Number 3. Identify the tone of the poem. For a start, answer the pre-test. You can pause the video if you will need more time. Press play when you're finished with the activity and when you're ready to proceed with the lesson. For your directions, choose the letter of the correct answer. Let's check your answers. For number 1, letter C. Number 2 and number 3, letter B. And number 4 and 5, letter A. Count the number of check. We have learned that poetry is a type of literature based on the interplay of words and reading. It often employs rhyme and meter. In poetry, words are strung together to form sounds, images, and ideas that might be too complex or abstract to describe directly. Poetry was once written according to fairly strict rules of meter and meaning, and each culture had its own rules. Poetry uses forms and conventions to suggest differential interpretations of words or to evoke emotive responses. These devices such as assonance, alliteration, onomatopoeia, and rhythm may convey musical or incantatory effects. Genre means a type of art, literature, or music characterized by a specific form, content, and style. For example, literature has 4 main genres: poetry, drama, fiction, and non-fiction. All of these genres have particular features and functions that distinguish them from one another. Hence, it is necessary on the part of readers to know which category of genre they are reading, in order to understand the message it contains, as they may have certain expectations prior to reading concerned. Genre, a class of category of text with similarities in form, style, or subject matter. Okay, the definition of a genre changes over time, and a text often interacts with multiple genres. A text relationship to a particular genre, whether it defies or supports a genre set of expectation. It is often of interest when conducting literary analysis. 4 major genres of literature include poetry, drama, non-fiction, and fiction. Genre allow literary critics and students to classify compositions within the larger canon of literature. In other words, genre categorize movies. Categorizing movies makes it easier for the viewer to discover what he or she likes and will want to see. Putting a movie into a particular genre or category does not diminish the quality of the movie by assuming that it can be put into a genre. the movie is ordinary and lacks of originality and creativity. Number 1, theme. It is the main idea that weaves the story together. The why, the underlying ideas of what happens in the piece of literature, often a statement about society or human nature. There are two types of theme. These are explicit theme and implicit theme. Okay, when we say explicit theme, it is when the writer states the theme openly and clearly. When we say implicit themes are implied themes, opposite of explicit. A theme that is implied through characters, plot, setting, stylistic. Commonly used themes. Number 1, courage. It is a wonderful theme to explore in writing. Life is full of difficult moments that must be surmounted. So, why not draw inspiration from fictional and non-fictional characters in a piece of literature? It just may be the story that inspires someone else to push through the next challenge in life. Here are a few examples of courage in major works of literature. A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. It features characters who endure a difficult war and display honorable courage in nearly every instance. Next, number 2, death. Is something everyone will face. It's packed with so much uncertainty. And for those left behind, it leaves lingering feelings of sadness and sometimes even remorse. This can be a great theme if your goal is to tug at the heartstrings of the readers. Here are a few examples of death and dying in major works of literature. Okay, the example is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. It focuses on teenagers that must come to terms with their terminal illness. Number 3, love. Of course, love can move the world. When two characters fall in love, they'll go through any lengths to stay together. It makes for an interesting story to see how love survived. Here are a few examples of love in major works of literature. Example, Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Okay, what's interesting here is that love is displayed as both a destructive and productive force, both inside and outside the context of marriage. Number 4, friendship. Valued friendship can completely one's life. It can sustain through moments when you need to pull out all of your courage. And it's also a wonderful prize when celebrating love's special moments. Here are a few examples of the beauty of friendship in major works of literature. Example, Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes. It tells the story of two men who essentially embark on an epic road trip. The ties that bond their friendship make all their adventures possible. Number 5, revenge. Of course, the theme in a novel doesn't always have to be a positive theme. It can be a negative attribute that might inspire readers to take a better path in life. Here are a few examples of revenge in the major works of literature. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alejandro Dumas. It plays with the theme of revenge from nearly every angle and character viewpoint. It also plays on the theme of power because as soon as the Count takes possession of power, he does outrank he doles out wrench to those who hurt him along the way. Number 2 elements of genre is tone. It tells us the author feels about his or her subject. Words express the writer's attitude toward his work or her subject and readers. Without vocal inflection to help convey tone, the writer must choose words with great care. We often describe a writer's tone but are not aware of how we discover the tone. It sort of creeps into our consciousness. Tone can be serious, satirical, passionate, sensitive, zealous, indifferent, caring, caustic. Tone in written composition is an attitude of a writer toward a subject or an audience. Tone is generally conveyed through the choice of words or the viewpoint of a writer on a particular subject. Example. In example number 1, Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. All morons hate it when you call them a moron. If a girl looks well when she meets you, who gives them if she's late? Nobody. Get the money, it always ends up making you blue as hell. Catholics are always trying to find out you're Catholic. In this line of Salinger, it unfolds his personality through the tone he adopts throughout the novel. Holden's tone is bitterly sarcastic as he criticizes the nature of things in real life. His character may reveal the attitude of the writer towards life, as it commons for writers to use their characters as their mouthpiece. Let's have example number 2. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Robert Frost, in the last stanza of his poem, The Road Not Taken, gives us an insight into the effect of tone. I shall be telling this with a sigh, some are aged and ages hence. Two roads diverge in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Frost tells us about his past with a sigh. This gives the above line as unhappy tone. This tone leads us into thinking that the speaker in the poem had to make a difficult choice in life. For your activity today, please get a pen and paper to answer this activity. When we post the video, you will need more time. Activity 2. Answer the activity. You can post the video if you will need more time. Press play when you're finished with the activity and when you're ready to proceed with the lesson. For your directions, identify the tone of the following lines in the poem. Choose the letter of the best answer. Goodbye, and see you in the next lesson.